This morning, a man in Aurora is lucky to be alive after he called police saying he was shot in the head.
Completely random crime. That's what police say about an Aurora man shot in the head when bullets flew through his home. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bayan Wayne.
And I'm Jacqueline Allen. Police have not arrested anyone yet.
Today, we have a special guest on the Radical Masculine Show. Now, this individual is someone that you probably have seen on the news, on multiple news stations, and multiple times, as being the victim that got shot, as well as the victim that made a complete recovery, left the hospital, and kind of told the news his story. So, without further ado, I would like to welcome Ryan Thompson.
How's it going, everybody?
Alright, so please introduce yourself. What do you kind of do for work? What's going on?
Well, name's Ryan Thompson. I work for Johnson Storage and Moving at the moment, and things are going real well with that, making good money. I was able to stack up a bunch of money after my incident with working at the company I'm at.
Okay, well, hey, we are going to jump right into it.
Okay.
Take me back to the night. What day was it on? What month? What day? What time?
It happened. The incident happened February 10th at 11:30 at night. I was just chilling on my couch, and I hear a loud banging noise against the neighbor's door, the sound of kicking.
Like someone kicking a door?
Like somebody kicking the door, and I thought, which I was right, they were trying to rob the neighbor's house. So once they couldn't get into his house, they turned to my door and they were soft knocking on the door. And I went to go and look out the peephole, and there was nobody out there. So I sat back down on the couch, and then I heard another knocking, and I went to go check out the peephole. There was nobody out there, and I said a few choice words. I was aggravated at the time that somebody was knocking and playing around.
What were those choice words?
The choice words, I was like, motherfucker, you need to stop knocking on my fucking door and get away from it. Those were my choice words. And so I went and sat back down, and about 15 seconds later, I saw a light shine through the window. It was like a LED light that was connected to the 9mm that shot me. And they shined it through the window. And whenever they did, I jerked my head sideways, which whenever I did, that's when they fired their first shot. And it went in through the back of here, like where my...
Speaking of the mic, remember?
Yeah, it went into the back of where the back of my ear is, between like the eardrum and the skull, and it went clean through and came out the other side.
So is this technically a headshot or a face shot? Is due to the location, it's a headshot, right?
It's a headshot. That's what the doctor said. It was it caused like trauma, you could say. And then I got hit in the back scapula whenever after I got shot in the moment.
So you got shot twice?
Yeah, I got shot twice.
How many rounds did he shoot off at you?
4 rounds. One went into the apartment outside of it. One went through my between my ear and my skull and came out the other side, and then one went my scapula, and another one went down into the couch.
So if the entry point is right kind of in between your ear and your back jawline, if that was the entrance point, where did it exit?
It came out like right here, like on the other side of the ear right here. I have like a little scar that you can still see. It came out through there, and that was in the moment I turned, and whenever I turned, they shot me again in the back scapula, and it just went in and shattered that bone, and then popped straight back out and left like a hole there. I actually had to let the gunshot wounds heal up, and they were actually excuse me, they were actually open for like weeks at a time, healing for probably about a month, like just draining out. That's the way the doctor said they needed to be, was to close up naturally or whatever. So that's the new protocol for a bullet that doesn't, I guess, that pops back out and doesn't like stay in, or the shrapnel's like inside your body.
Okay, so you got shot, and it seems like both places it hit you, it kind of just like shot and kind of just came right back out. Didn't go all the way through, huh? Like directly through?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Now, although no one deserves something like this to happen to them, do you think your choice words may have had something to do with the shooting, or do you think that was something that was just going to happen no matter what?
I think it was something that was going to happen no matter what.
Now, with the grade of weapon they had, so you said 9mm with like an attached flashlight?
Yeah, it essentially had a LED light on it.
So not every thug really carries a gun with, with a light on it, with an LED light. Like, sure, maybe a laser pointer, something like that. Do you think this person could have been a professional? Or do you think they were just somebody where they got the flashlight too, they were just, your typical criminal, and, it was not something professional?
Well, word on the street from around the hood area, I talked to a few people that know of the guy that shot me and know who he is, and they said he's well known for going around capping off on people. So
for no reason?
For no reason. Robbery's gone bad. Robbery's unsuccessful.
Now, did they give you a name to this guy? Do you know his information? Have you turned it in? Is he still on the loose? It sounds like he might still be on the loose.
He's still on the loose. The case is inactive of the moment.
So they're not pursuing him anymore?
No, they're not pursuing him at all.
And why? What was the reason they gave you? Hey, I'm sorry you got shot and almost died, and basically got shot in the head, and you could probably go into more detail about this here in a second, but this guy basically got shot twice, 4 shots rain out, and he picked his ass up off of the carpet and grabs the phone. And you called the police yourself, right?
I called 911 myself and saved my own life.
Do you remember what you said?
I told them that somebody shot me, and I talked real calmly on the phone, like I was well aware of, or self-aware of what was going on, and I told the paramedics I told 911 that I grabbed a blanket from the couch and put it up against my head to keep from bleeding out, and I stuck the phone on speakerphone so they would so I'd be able to talk and hold the blanket up against my head, and
So I mean, a couple of things here, real quick.
Okay.
First of all, you get shot. The bullet fucking basically bounces in, goes in a little bit. You know, kind of like a guy with a small dick. It only goes in a little bit. It only went in a little bit. It pops right back out. You're basically. How did you know to grab a blanket? Because I'm sure you were probably shocked. I mean, shit, you were shot for Christ's sakes. But how did you know in the moment? Because from what I remember from what you told me is you described everything to a fucking science. The type of weapon, the type of bullet, the equipment, you know, like the LED light. You know, I would have thought it was like a flashlight or something, but you knew the finer details. Where did that come from?
Well, I grew up shooting guns as a kid. My cousins had like numerous guns, and so have I since we were kids. And I shot a 9mm, so I knew what it sounded like as soon as the bullet left the chamber. I could hear it. I could hear the hammer click and everything. Like I knew exactly what it was when it went off because the detective was asking me what it was, and I went out and he came back while I was about to go to the ambulance, and he came back with a 9mm shell. And he's like, "Sure enough, Ryan, you're right. It was a 9mm." I was like, I knew from the sound of the gun going off that it was.
So kids that grow up playing with guns, you know, like you said, your cousins had a various assortment of guns, a 9mm being one. Is that something that most people who deal with guns could identify, or is that just like something that
it's really common? I mean, I've shot everything from like a 9mm to like a Desert Eagle to AKs to AR-15s. Like, I recognize the sound of what it sounds like when they go off, you know. So I'm pretty self-aware of what different guns are, you know.
Okay, well, you kind of have that knowledge from dealing with guns as a kid, but where did you get the knowledge or the wherewithal to know to grab a blanket and to immediately stop the bleeding? Because you've known me for a while. I'm a tough son of a bitch, but if I got shot, I would probably I wouldn't even think to do that. Like, although when you say that, it's like, damn, that's it's good you thought of that. And I've seen a lot of videos or movies, and this is what they tell you to do. But I think that I would not even be thinking about the blanket on the couch. I would just be worried because I got shot in the face or the head and the shoulder. So what do you think gave you the ability to have such clarity in such a moment of terror?
Well, like the news clipping said, I was talking about like my soul lifting out of my body. I saw the white light that people talk about, and I could hear like dead family members calling me up, and I was just like, well, it's not my time yet. I got to go back. I could see myself in ghost form on the couch, and I went to touch myself, and my hands passed through me, and I was clear, and I heard like dead family members calling me up. It was kind of like that DMX video, I'm slipping, I'm falling, and I can't get up. Only there were no hands like reaching for me out of the walls. But yeah, like, so that's kind of what happened with that. And in that moment, when I came to, I was like, I had two choices. I was like, I can either lay here and these can be my final moments, or I can get up and get my phone and stay alive. And that's what I did. I got up. I went through everything real slowly in my motions. I grabbed the phone. It was charging on the back of the couch. I stuck it on 911. In the moment, I felt the back of my ear because I was bleeding. And at first, I thought I was kind of disoriented. I really didn't know what was going on when I came back. Everything was, it was like visually clear, but when I came back, it was just like time slowed down. It's like time had no time, and I knew exactly how long it was whenever the ambulance got there. It took them like 15 minutes. So like in a 15 minute wingspan of time, I'm calling 911. I'm grabbing the blanket after I already stuck my finger inside the hole inside my ear, like thinking, I'm like, well, why do I have ketchup on my face? And it wasn't ketchup, it was blood. So I grabbed the blanket off the couch and I stuck it up against my head, and yeah, I saved my own life.
So would you say that it was a reaction? Because what it sounds like you're saying is that you were very clear, you knew what to do, you were aware of your surroundings, of time, but you still thought that you had ketchup on the back of your head.
Well, the funny story about that, and I guess it's not very funny, but it's kind of weird that this happened. I'm like, well, why did somebody throw a ketchup bottle at my head? And I stuck my finger back there in that hole, and I tasted it. I tasted it to see if it actually was ketchup, and it wasn't ketchup. It was blood. So I grabbed a blanket and stuck it up against my head. But I had to confirm for myself that it was actually not ketchup.
Okay, that was probably just like a thought that you had in your head, because
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet, like, although you heard the gunshot, you knew what kind of gun it was, the last thing you thought is that someone would just shoot you for you doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
right?
I was thrown off by it. Like, I didn't expect it in a million years, you know, just being at home, living my life. I was actually watching John Candy's like Hollywood documentary that night and it just finished up, and I was just about to go to bed, and right as I was thinking about getting up off the couch to go to bed, that's when all this went down.
Do you ever have regrets that you wish maybe you just went to bed, you just kind of brushed it off, or like, is it something you kind of regret, or is it something you felt it was going to happen because you are who you are, and, you know, there was no way to avoid it? Like, example is, you know, like sometimes, like, you know, I've been through, you know, ups and downs in life, and a lot of people ask me, you know, like, do you wish you would have did something different? And I want to say yes, so I could have avoided a whole bunch of the bullshit, but in a way, I kind of felt that it was not that it had to happen or that I wanted it to happen, it just was. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, it does. I feel like there was really no avoiding the situation that happened. It's just something just a freak accident. I mean,
Well, definitely an accident on your part. On their part, they're an asshole. And after the podcast, we're going to find out if we know where this guy is, who he is, so we can tell the police. Psych. No, but anyway, I'm sure you're not looking for any more drama. You're just looking to live your best life.
yeah, I'm just living my best life now and making money and focusing on me.
Now, you said you heard family members calling you. Did you recognize specific voices, or did you just hear voices and you automatically knew that they were family members?
I heard like my grandma and my aunt that just passed like over a year ago, and uncle and everything. My Uncle Bob and my Uncle Alan. I could hear their voices, and that they were telling me I need to go back. So.
Oh, okay. So they weren't telling you follow the light, come to us. They were telling you to, like, and I'll probably end up playing this soundbite when I edit this video, but basically telling you to get up, you son of a bitch, cause
Mickey loves you.
Uncle Bob loves you. Was it something like that, or were they just telling you that, you know, like, do you feel that they were your inspiration to get up, or do you feel like
I feel like they were my inspiration to get up, because my uncles were always like my heroes. So I Uncle Bob, he was a millionaire. He played professional baseball before I was even born, and then was also in the military too during the time of drafting. And then my Uncle Alan was a multimillionaire and built his own advertisement business, and has passed on. But yeah, like I feel like they wanted me to come back and complete my dreams, because that's what I've been wanting to do. I want to be the third millionaire in the family.
now do you feel like, now clearly this is going to sound kind of like a dumb question, but how much do you feel this incident has changed you? Because you're kind of a different guy. You're still kind of like the same guy within, but you seem like you have a calmer demeanor. You're more focused. You're less impressionable, because before you were kind of somebody where, come on, let's do this. It's kind of like you seem more assertive and more decisive. Now, other than just those points, do you feel like this has changed you? And if it has, what has it really done to you and for you? How have you grown from this experience?
Well, it's changed to me a lot. Like, I feel like I go a lot harder at work now. Like, since I got a second chance at life, I really slow down for no one. I just keep on going as hard as I can. I try to outwork everybody else in the room, which causes a lot of conflict at times, because when you're normally used to working harder than the next guy next to you, or the guy behind you or in front of you, people really don't like that at all. They call you choice words and whatnot, and are actually highly threatened by somebody that knows how to accumulate money and not work paycheck to paycheck when they're complaining about hours and whatnot. So I mean, I guess I'm just more motivated than I ever was before.
Do you think that motivation comes from that shit, you can be gone like that? Not just you, but everybody. Life is fragile, right?
Yeah, life is very fragile. Yeah, you can get fired tomorrow. And most people don't have a backup plan if something like that happens, or have money saved like I do, or people don't think that far out ahead anymore.
Well, never mind the money, just life.
Yeah.
Like you could easily be gone.
Yeah.
Or that could have easily have killed you, and you would have been gone, and I would have found out about it on Facebook. So I remember that morning. I forgot what I was doing. I think I was looking at trucks that day, and so I was kind of like running errands. I didn't have like work planned or nothing, because I knew I was gonna go out and about, run errands, looking at trucks, just kind of taking care of some business stuff. And I flipped on my phone. Now I have Facebook, but I'm really not on it a lot. My notifications are turned off, so I'm never really on Facebook that much. Now, I have been more so, but usually I'll log on to Facebook, or, basically get in the app, post some bullshit, and then, turn it back off. So I don't know if anyone likes what I say, or cares what I say, or what anyone else is saying for that matter. But so I flipped through Facebook, and I seen you in a hospital bed, and the first thing that I thought was, he's posting an old photo or something. I didn't realize that it just had happened. I thought maybe it was one of those 3 years ago or 4 years ago from today, or whatever the case may be. But that's what I thought when I seen it. And then as I read what you wrote, you calmly explained, basically I was shot. And do you remember what you put in that post?
Bits and pieces, vaguely, I guess. You know, it's been a while since the incident.
So, for one, you got shot. You had the wherewithal to, take care of yourself, call the ambulance, call 911. You described the gun, you did everything. You get shot, you're in the hospital, and a couple hours later, the next day, you're posting on Facebook. What do you think kind of gave you that drive? Because let's be honest, a lot of people get shot, and for one, they don't get off the floor. For two, they don't know what the hell to do. Their mind goes blank. And for three, they ain't on Facebook the very next day writing messages. What do you think your motivation was before that? Do you think you had to let somebody know what you went through?
This is crazy. I couldn't get a hold of my sister at the time, so I had my brother-in-law's family members on my Facebook, and I guess my sister wasn't one of my friends on Facebook or whatever, and I felt like I had to let her know some way, so she wasn't answering her phone, and she didn't hear about it till like the very next day. But one of my brother-in-law's sister, Melissa, notified my sister through Facebook that this is what happened to me.
Okay, so you were basically posting that out because you couldn't get a hold. You wanted to, get a hold of her.
Yeah.
So you posted that message to kind of say, hey, this happened. I'm okay, but this did happen.
Yeah, I threw that out in the masses because I knew it would hit her, either a day or two. She'd find out.
All right, so now you said when you got shot that you had an outer body experience. Now explain how that went. The moment you get shot, or I guess the moment you felt your spirit separate from the body. Explain to us that whole situation, because going back and doing the research for this interview, I remember you said that it felt like you splashed in some water, or like you fell into some water.
Yeah, so whenever I sorry to cut you off, by the way.
No, fuck you.
All right, so so whenever I got shot, it was like it was kind of like the Mobb Deep video where they're like when the slugs penetrate, you feel a burning sensation. It was like that. So whenever I felt that burning sensation when the bullets hit me, I could feel like my body like do a front flip outside of it. And whenever that happened, like I flipped and I landed on my feet and like ghost form, and I could see myself slumped over on the couch. And that's when I tried to touch myself, and my hands went through my body.
How long? So as soon as the bullet hit you, you felt the burning sensation, and then immediately, like as your body was gonna hit the couch to slump over it, then you flipped out of your body beforehand?
Yeah, I flipped out, and I saw my body slumped over on the couch like I was standing in front of myself.
Now, what did that feel like? Is there anything you remember from that other than the experience?
I remember whenever I was deciding to step back into my body, it felt like I was stepping into a cold river. Like everything went cold as soon as I came back inside my body, or went back inside my body.
Oh, okay. So that's what you said with the water. So your family members are, encouraging you to be strong, it's not your time. And so you literally walked up to your body and then jumped in it?
Yeah.
And it felt like cold water, huh?
Like cold water.
Damn, that's crazy. Now, because sometimes even good people have had an experience to where, like they hear family members, they see the light, but they also see the opposite of that. They see the darkness. They see, and I've heard this like even from good people. It's kind of like the balance between good and evil. Did you feel anything evil, like any evil presence? Was there any darkness? Was there basically the opposite to what you experienced as well? Like the family members telling you to, to stay and to be strong? Were there any other voices telling you to come on down here? They all float down here, Georgie. Anything like that?
No, nothing like that.
So there was probably a damn good chance that regardless of what happened, you were going to find a way to live.
Right, exactly. I was, every time I've ever fell, I've always gotten back up, and I told myself, I was like, this is no different than those times. You just gotta get back up like you did all the other times.
Okay. Now, let's talk about your news interview. So you're kind of famous for this, and kind of with this interview, I'm going to swarm the masses with it. Hopefully some of the doctors that helped you can see this, and the news or whatever. But describe being interviewed for the news. How did that experience go? And how was it being in front of the camera in a thin hospital gown, knowing that your cock and balls were just right on the other side of a thin piece of cloth? Not really the cock and balls, but, how was it doing the interview?
Well, it was, I told them at first I wish I could have been in better clothes for the interview. Sorry that I'm underdressed.
So you knew that those balls are swinging down there.
Oh yeah, they could have popped out of there at any moment. A hot nurse or a cool breeze could have gave me a boner.
Oh, so your dick was still working. So no bullets or shrapnel got anywhere near your cock area.
No, I was not hitting the cock with any shrapnel.
Okay, great. Thank God. That could have been something to, at that point.
The interview would be a whole lot different then.
Yeah, it'd be on Pornhub. But, okay, so you did the interview. You kind of knew that. And did they kind of coach you on what to say? Or did you just kind of like what we're doing now, just kind of like freestyling it? Like I
just freestyled it, just went for it.
Now, out of the full interview that you actually gave, how much of it actually showed up on the news clip?
Like a quarter of it, not even the whole thing.
Like a quarter of it. Now, this same reporter, or was it just one reporter, or did multiple reporters come out to you?
It was one reporter.
Okay, so not different channels. I guess just Channel 7 News, right?
Yeah, just Channel 7 News.
Okay, well, I guess they're the real ones. Channel 9 News and Channel 4, fuck you. But, so she came back out at a later date to... how long did she come out for your second interview? To where you're in your Versace shades, you're slick, you're dressed to the nines, there was more material between her and your cock. I mean, how long after was that second interview?
Probably about a month after I got shot. She came out for another one.
Okay, a month later.
Yeah.
So you're already kind of back on your feet, already in the healing process.
Yeah.
Now, real quick before I forget, what did the doctors tell you about kind of what you went through? Because I don't know very many people that get shot in the head and live. What was the doctor saying? Was he saying that you were lucky? Was he surprised?
The doctor said that they ran my blood work after I came out of the emergency room when they were like basically essentially plugging the holes in the moment, so I wouldn't keep bleeding out of them. And the doctor told me when I came out of the emergency room, he said that I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. So whenever I came out of the emergency room, he said the reason why he thinks I lived and when they did my blood work, they pulled up showing the amount of testosterone I had in my system that was like 100% on point. And then he said the adrenaline on top of that, he said that's what saved my life.
Okay, so you have a lot of testosterone.
Yeah.
Well, on top of the adrenaline. But yeah, did you know that there is this common denominator amongst really wealthy guys? So testosterone levels, high testosterone levels, are a bigger indication of success more so than intelligence. That's something that some of the
I did not know that. It's
Yeah.
wild.
yeah, some of the wealthiest, wildly successful men, one thing they all have in common, and Kevin Samuels used to talk about this, about high value men, high earners, they have a lot of testosterone. And yeah, that's a better gauge, is the amount of testosterone over intelligence, because you would think, if you're real intelligent, well then, you'll be smart enough to figure some shit out. But no, testosterone is actually a bigger indicator of success than, like I said, intelligence. So testosterone. Now, are you the kind of guy, like, do you take care of yourself? Do you work out? Or like, are you drinking a lot? Are you doing a lot of the bad things? Or do you run a pretty clean ship as far as your body's concerned?
Pretty clean. I can go down the road to sweets sometimes, like chocolate chip cookies and whatnot. But I'm really healthy from what the doctor says. I eat right all the time, all the right meat I'm supposed to eat and whatnot. And I take like testosterone booster on top of like a energy vitamin, and I take like whey protein on top of that to get all the nutrients and everything that I'm not getting, because I don't eat vegetables all the time. I do sometimes, but not all the time. I need to get more into that habit.
Okay, so you take multivitamins, your whey protein. You're not like me lately, just doing a lot of drinking, a whole lot of working, and just a whole lot of drinking. But so it sounds like you're in pretty decent shape, and that's probably what saved your life. Because some people, like, if they don't take care of themselves, and they really don't bounce back as quick from something like this. Because you seem, for somebody who got shot in their head, you're not drooling.
Well, not now. I was, but before, like within the 2.5 months that I was healing.
Yeah, but that's because your face was messed up. Drooling, like, some people, they get shot in the head and they're fucked up. Like their brain isn't working at full capacity, or it hits something and they're slow. But it seems like you're still sharp. Now, is there anything that you're doing to like therapy, stuff like that? Are you still undergoing any type of therapy? Because it does look like you have a little bit of nerve damage in your face. Is that something that is reversible? And on top of that, is it something that you're kind of working through now? Or is it just a matter of time, just over time, as your body gets stronger, your nerves kind of repair themselves?
They told me after a year that my face will probably be almost, or should be all the way straight, if not close to it. So
okay,
and that nerve damage should be repaired.
Yeah,
it's just time, and I've noticed that it's repairing itself over time. I the only pain medication I take for it is natural, and that's marijuana. I don't really drink. I drink occasionally, but not all the time. Just mostly smoke weed for it, and that seems to help a whole lot. I didn't take any pain medication the whole time I was going through shoulder pain. I just worked my way through it, as painful and as excruciating as it was. The doctor told me if I was able to do that we could fast forward the healing process. He's like, still shoot for 6 months, but he said if you don't take any pain medication, I see you healing within 3. And I did it in 2.5, so
really,
I shortened that.
So pain medication will actually prevent the healing process, or it slows it down?
It slows it down. It messes up like the nerves and like the receptors and everything, like all your nerves engaging. Even when my face was really bad off after I had the nerve grafting surgery, when they went in and unhinged my ear and went inside and like basically grafted 2 nerves back together. I got like $100,000 worth of bills from when this all happened. That my insurance to the Johnson Company, they took care of all that.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Is that why you felt like once you got back on your feet that, you know, you wanted to do right by them and go back to work? Or was it just for the love of money?
No. Well, they called me and asked me if I wanted to, what my plans were, if I planned on getting a different job or coming back, and I was like, I plan on definitely making a comeback tour. And while I was at home, I didn't even expect this. They put together like a cash pool in the office at work, and came over and brought me like $1,000 and to go towards my rent. I mean, even though I didn't really need it because I had my money saved up, it was still a nice gesture that like really made me feel like there was more incentive to go back.
Okay, so they did right by you. They
Yeah.
went above and beyond. They got
Yeah.
cash, and heck yeah, that's actually pretty cool that they were, at least you know they were thinking about you, because some people at companies, they're just a number, and they're like, yeah, hey, I know you got shot, but I know bills are going to be due soon, so you coming back? So I guess that was nice that they were going to pay $100,000 worth of the bills. Now, sure, it's the insurance, but a lot of companies...
My insurance is like gravy insurance, and I mean I pay into it. Like $300 comes out of my check every 2 weeks for it, so I pay like $600 a month, but that's still cheaper than if I was to go out and get my own insurance plan and pay like $800 a month. So
yeah, insurance is expensive as hell, but shit, you never know what could happen.
Never
Imagine if you
know.
didn't have it. Shit, you'd have $100,000 worth of debt, and you'd
my
be trying to
my
deal with
credit
that.
would be slayed after some shit like that.
Yeah, many people that have like a serious health issue, they never recover from it because they're just so far.
It could have bankrupted me probably.
Not only that, when you pay out of pocket, the hospital, they tend to keep on sending you bills. At least when your insurance pays for it, they make sure they get a final number, and that's that. But they kind of sneak bills on you when you're paying out of pocket, and that shit would just adds up, and they'll just keep on sending you shit and sending you shit. At least you had like your insurance or whatever to help you with that. So the nerves will heal. The reason why painkillers prolong the process is because it numbs your nerves.
Mm-hmm. It numbs your nerves. It can also cause addiction because a lot of people that are in pain.
No, I know that.
They get prescribed, you know, to take a certain dosage, and all of a sudden the certain dosage they're getting used to it and it doesn't work anymore. So okay, well I'll just take 1 more pill, or I'll just take 2 more pills, and all of a sudden you're caught in addiction, and that's not the route that I wanted to go. They tried giving me while I was in there in the hospital. They wanted me to just try the fentanyl, so I tried it, and it made me fucking hallucinate and see like birds and shit flying around inside the fucking hospital curtain room area.
Oh, it sounds beautiful. Kind of like a cartoon where the birds are...
Shoot, it made me get up and go throw up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, this is too much all at once. Like, this is like a bad acid trip.
Dang. So...
Not that I do that sort of thing, but yeah.
Oh, well, you were just doing coke with me earlier. No, I'm
kidding. Hey, calm
No.
down.
So, all right, so... And is because I'm kind of blown away by this whole... So, when your nerves are sensing pain, is it like strengthening them? Is that why? Like versus it just being numb and you're...
Yeah, if you're able to work through the pain, it like strengthens the nerves and makes them stronger.
Well, that's good, yeah, because a lot of people, they have the story where they're like, yeah, I never had a problem, but I got back surgery, or I got this injury or that injury, and then, and
Look at Kobe Bryant. He's like broke his ankle in a game, and he still like completed the rest of the game.
well, Kobe Bryant is just motherfucking G. R.I.P. Kobe. But all right, so that happened. Now you're turning the page in your life. Now, do you have any? How are you going to use this experience on top of everything that you're already doing? Like your money's on point, you're doing your thing, you got a nice place. How what's next for you? What's next for Ryan Thompson? How are you going to use this experience? Because I told you on the phone, I was like, this is your big wake up call to be the best version of yourself. Like this is it for you. This is where you take off and become what you're meant to be. What's next for you?
Well, I'm just I'm still doing like my little resale business thing on the side whenever the market's doing good. Right now it's kind of weird right now at the moment. So I'm kind of taking a little break from it. But probably writing this book that I'm working on also. Like I've already started on it. I can't give an actual release date yet, but I'm still in the process of like writing chapters for it. So when y'all be the first to find out whenever that happens. So yeah, just that and business on the side of already working, and by the time I'm 40, I want to be out of moving furniture completely. I want to be done with it and just focus on my own business as far as that's concerned.
All right, so right now what you do for work is kind of just in the meantime, but so you're writing a book. Do you have the title of the book yet, or is that still something you're working out?
Well, I had a name for the title, but I want to change it now, so I don't know what I'm gonna call it, but it's gonna be something that's hard hitting, that it'll stand out, whenever you see it in the stores.
All right, are you gonna post it on Amazon or everywhere?
Probably like Amazon and just everywhere I can, just get it out there in the masses.
All right. Now, you've kind of moved on from this, but I have to ask, is there any part of you that is scared a little bit? Because I guess when you come close to like a death experience, it kind of scares the shit out of you. Like, for example, one time I went out and I woke up in the hospital. I didn't know what happened, and that scared the shit out of me, not because I could have got killed or whatever, but just shit happens, and it's something that I think about a lot, to where it kind of keeps me on the straight and narrow. It kind of has me doing less of certain things, not going out as much. Do you feel any type of fear from that situation?
I would say I probably am not as much of a person that wants to really go out anymore. Just I go out sometimes, but I don't know, if it's like, for me, it's like being in college. I'd rather day drink again than play around into the evening time when all the idiots come out,
Yeah.
Like if I can go to Applebee's or somewhere during the day and get my drink on and go home and chill, like when there's not a lot of people in the bar, I like that a whole lot better than going when places are crowded.
Yeah, I kind of feel you on that, and that's good because my dad told me this a long time ago when I was young. He said that it's better to be, how did he say it? It's better to be lonely, bored, and safe than it is to always be out there. Basically, it's better to be bored and safe than it is to be excited and in danger. Now, clearly, like I don't like to walk in the world like I'm scared of something, but it's true, especially if you quit going out for a while and then you go out, then you kind of realize all the nonsense going on. And the biggest thing you realize is that one loser ass motherfucker could take your life, and and then you would just be gone. All your dreams, all your passions, all the things that you were meant to accomplish in this world could just be gone, and they could be taken by the hands of an idiot. And so I think part of masculinity is being hard to kill, not just being in a position to be killed and dodging it, but just to completely avoid it, or to limit the amount of situations you get into, because loser ass people, they seem to want to, the good die young, and the like Tupac, who knows what he could have been, but he was taken young, and I don't want to be in a position for no fucking body to kill my ass, you know what I mean?
Definitely. I think what it all like comes down to is just make sure you have a good circle of people around you, a good support system, good friends. Don't go out with people that are going to cause you trouble. Don't let friends put you in situations that you don't want to be in. Don't surround yourself with friends that put you in positions that you don't want to be in.
So these days, do you prefer, like for example, I've been, pretty comfortable just working. I literally work like 80 hours during the week at my regular job, and then I come home and then I work. I basically get like 80 hours a week, regular job, 40 hours a week, recording content, editing, and doing all of that stuff. And I've found like a real comfort in just being around myself. And although I do have friends and I could be out and I could be sticking and moving, I kind of like just, hanging out. I'm happy being alone. Now, sure, I still like to, visit with friends or whatnot, but I like to be alone. Do you find yourself more of a loner now? Or are you still kind of like trying to find that balance?
I like being by myself. Like, I mean, I can come and go as I please. If I want to have a chick over, I'll have her over and send her ass home afterwards, and be back by myself. There's no reason for them to spend the night. Just we do our thing and then you go home.
Hey, that's usually my philosophy. Now, although you were shot and you were a victim in that case, have you ever been with a girl and shot up the club?
Shot at the club?
Shot up the club. Basically ejaculating in her vagina. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Whoa. No, I got great pull-out game.
All right. Well, you're an expert. Now, we are going to wrap this interview up, because I'm sure as I edit through this, we're going to add more stuff to it. And since we're friends, we could always do a couple little takes here and there. But I do want to say this out to the world. Ryan has high testosterone, and from what I heard, the doctor said they did check his penis for shrapnel, and the doctor himself fainted and said it was the biggest schlong he ever seen. So ladies, Ryan Thompson, are you single right now?
I am. I'm an eligible bachelor.
All right, so you girls better hit him up. Where can they find you at? You want to drop your socials?
Yeah, you can find me at Ryan Thompson on Facebook, and you can just hit me up on there. Just slide into the DM, and I get with you on Messenger.
All right, sounds good. Well, it's been a pleasure hosting you in my lovely Radical Masculine studio.
This is a great studio, by the way.
Oh.
Y'all wouldn't believe how big it is in here.
Okay, yeah, it's just like what the doctor said. It's huge. But without further ado, thanks for watching the show, and remember, sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite. Aight?
An Aurora man is back home from the hospital today after bullets flew through his home, through his window, hitting him in the head. That shooter still on the run.
And new at 5, Denver 7's Christian Lopez talked with the man shot about his recovery and why no arrests have been made.
I'm in really high spirits.
Ryan Thompson is on the road to recovery after being shot inside his Aurora apartment, making good progress since we visited him in the hospital a week ago.
I heard 2 gunshots fire down through my window and hit me. And another one went through the couch. I felt myself flip outside my body.
He's now back inside that home where the evidence of the shooting is still visible all around.
I was actually sitting right here when I got shot. This is where one of the hollow point bullets went through. It's actually stuck down in the couch.
Thompson tells us he was nervous about going back inside the apartment.
I felt that I wouldn't fully recover from this if I didn't face my fears head on. When I came back in, I went into an extreme PTSD, anxiety, attack.
But says he feels more comfortable and expects to make a full recovery.
I do feel safe at the moment. Right now, there's a lot of nerve damage in my face. There's definitely going to be some physical therapy.
We called the Aurora Police Department for an update on the investigation. They told us they're still following up on several leads, but still have not identified a suspect. They're asking the public to contact them with any surveillance video or tips. Ryan's hoping that person will be brought to justice.
I've been praying about it. I am resilient, and I'm going to strengthen myself over time. But for now, I'm resting.
Reporting in Aurora, I'm Christian Lopez.